Good evening, and welcome to another episode of A Scotsman Blathers About. And I am your host, Calum Lykan, as always, here, ever present and ready to have some fun. Now, a couple of things we're going to start with. We may as well talk about the giant. It's this side actually. Anal beads in the room. I think that probably is. Yeah. I don't know. It's something like that. Basically, I'm not going to lie. I have been inspired, ladies and gents. I've been inspired by a good friend of mine and a fellow live streamer who basically has been a guest a couple of times, Curtis Dominic, Twitch TV Turkey Boots. And basically, one moment. Yes, darling?
Your banner says talks about, not blathers about. You're amusing me.
Okay, whatever, darling. She interrupts me for weird things. I don't know why she interrupted me for that one. Apparently my banner says talks about rather than blathers about. I don't even know where that is now. Anyway, folks, let's talk about sex is today's theme. And I have, as I said, I've been inspired by a gentleman called Turkey Boots, Curtis Dominic, who basically has been using green screen stuff and all that. So I decided I was going to try the old green screen backdrop. And yeah, I'm loving it. It's fantastic. So please expect a wonderful, fantastical array of bizarre backdrops. It's going to happen. I'm going to have them. I'm just going to start changing them. I mean, I could change this one. I don't actually know what I've got here. Wait a minute. Just start this show in style. Oh, yeah, I found this one. I really like this one. So me. It's like a little unicorn of delight. Oh, I love it. Yeah, green screen is going to become my latest toy. And I'm basically going to constantly be playing with this, folks, throughout shows, to the point that you're all just going to be like, seriously, Calum, could you just stop it? Stop it now. However, another thing that I need to make you aware of before we really get into this show is you'll notice I am advertising another streaming platform I work on, which is Twitch TV. My username there is Kilted Beastie. And the reason I'm trying to promote these, and of course I have my YouTube channel, which I see, I think there's a couple of people watching, one or two people on the YouTube channel. The reason I'm kind of making sure you're aware of them is simply because of this. I don't know how long I'll be on Facebook for, or be able to live stream on Facebook, or do any sort of production stuff on Facebook, because they're changing their rules and laws again. And in fact, one of the ones that they're hitting in the beginning of October is music Facebook pages to start with. And apparently, the problem is, it's like they're saying the rules they've set up are very ambiguous, and it almost implies that if you post any music, if you talk about any music, if you are a musician, there's a good chance your Facebook page could be removed, banned, basically kicked off the platform for good. Now, if they're doing that to musicians, I don't think it'll be much longer before they start attacking every other performing artist on that medium. So do bear that in mind, folks. If you start to see a fewer posts, if some of your favorite musicians disappear off Facebook, it's because they're basically getting booted for some bizarre reason. Now, hopefully it won't happen, but I'm making you aware of this on my stream today, because I wouldn't be surprised if that starts happening to every sort of live stream, simply because the pandemic came in, we had to work, we had to do stuff, so we came on live. Facebook has the monopoly, and they're not making any money on it, probably. So they're kicking back by basically saying, F off, you guys, we don't want you on. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Hopefully it won't affect me, but I'm basically preparing to move elsewhere just in case, because you know what? We need to do our thing. We need to work. So what do you think about my fancy fancy green screen that's going on. I was gonna have an array of sex toys behind me on it, but the ones that were there it was very alarming. Like there was a dildo going in one ear, and there was definitely something dubiously coming towards my mouth this side, and I just kind of thought maybe not. Maybe not use that one. Hey, Jacob, Garden Gnome, Cliff. Let me just see. Yeah, vague rules. You're right, Jacob. Yeah. Yeah, excellent, excellent. So this is the new me, the green screen, and we're going to have fun with it, as I say. However, tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very difficult topic for me to talk about because tonight we're discussing fornication and sex. And here's another thing I'm a bit worried about. If this live stream ends halfway through, it might be because it's actually been shut down by Facebook. I don't know. If that happens, we'll still be live on YouTube and Twitch, hopefully. But yeah, so if anything does happen to this stream, I honestly suspect this show will get banned simply because they'll find something innocuous. They'll find something ridiculous. I promise you one thing, there'll be no nudity. There will be no nip slips. I promise. I haven't put my tassels on or whatever they're called. What are they called again? Oh, jings. I should know shit like that. I worked with burlesque artists and all that for years. But yes, there'll be no inappropriate nudity. There will be swearing, of course, it is me. There will be crudeness, it is me. There will be inappropriateness. It's basically just wrapped up in the Scottish package that is me. But fornication and sex is our show tonight. Are you all ready? Can I just get a yes, a confirmation if you are all prepared for the debacle that this show will be about sex? I'm going to keep my eye. I'm just seeing who's here. Nick, nice to see you, Spinners. Of course you would know that, you filthy monkey. I mean... yes, the anal beads, yes. The cock ring's quite intriguing as well. I know this was the cleanest backdrop I could find, folks. I wanted a neutral one. I didn't want too much cock and penis or a vagina, cock and vagina, reference on it. I wanted to try and make it neutral for all sexual proclivities. Margaret, yawn. Thanks, Margaret. Greetings. Hey, Jester, thank you. Deirdre, hello. Oh, wow. Gosh, some new faces that I haven't seen for a while, and we've been missing each other this year. Usually we catch up. Oh, and Snail Sushi. Snail, I think I met you on a Twitch channel recently. Excellent. Okay. So this subject was given to me by a member of the audience, and when it came through, I looked at it and went, oh, I better check something, because I jokingly use fornication as a word as well to reference sex, but fornication is actually a very specific aspect of it. So I went back and asked the person, and they've asked not to be named. Some people who give sort of show ideas for the weekly blathers do say they don't want to be named, and I respect that. But they actually said, no, I was meaning sex. But I feel I'm duty bound, ladies and gentlemen, to explain fornication before we get into the beast with two backs, bumping uglies, etc., etc. Oh, there's Chengiz, sorry. Cock and penis, so everything is covered. Yes. You know what? I should have had you as a co-host on this show. That would have been more manic if we were both doing this, Chingiz. Okay. So I'm going to read this, folks, because the history of fornication, just to give you a little bit of a background so we know where we are. So, fornication, the word refers to consensual sex between two individuals who are not married, but it is different than adultery, which means on or both of the parties are married to someone else. One or both of the parties are married. My researcher misspelled something there, and okay. when I try and do the news reading stuff, this is my problem because I literally am Ron Burgundy. I will read what's put in front of me instead of using the noggin and go, oh, that's misspelled. No, I will literally say something that's in front of me. So basically, yeah, fornication, one or both of the parties are married to someone else. The word is actually based on the Latin word fornix. Please excuse my pronunciation. I'm not a scholar, which means archway, and came to be about sex due to the workers soliciting. This was a bit of history I did know, actually, soliciting business from under archways all the way back in the times of the Romans. Yes, Rome, the filthy, filthy, delightful people that the Romans were. Vaulted archways are fornications. I love it. I love the fact that this word for sex came about from actually a structure, especially a vaulted one, because it's very kind of, yes. Okay, so as I say, I'm just reading this section just to give you an idea. A lot of the issues and rules around fornication came from the combination of morality, religion, and criminal legislation. Many religions forbid fornication. Yeah, poor sods. Jewish law, Islamic law, Christianity, Hindu holy book, Bhagavad Gita, probably mispronounced that. Shinge's probably will be able to pronounce that much better than me. And Buddhism, a lot of time fornication was banned due to the desire to preserve the marital status and the need to maintain the identity and integrity of family. Yes, so there you go. Basically, the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods began introducing laws against fornication. Why am I'm basically trying to turn this into a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, but with the wrong word. Californication, fornication. No, fornication, folks, okay? We're not making up new words. Okay. So basically, that's it. Yeah, I've got to read this one because it mentions great words. Many places have laws, though they define sex as vaginal sex, illegal sex, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. We'll get into that later, I think. Yeah, we won't jump straight into the vaginal or anal sex just yet, folks. Let's slow ourselves and let's lube ourselves into those situations, eh? Oh God, this is going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. I pronounced the Latin more clearly than archway. That's because the Scots are an archaic bunch who get older languages much easier than we get modern languages, as you can tell because I apparently can't speak tonight. Yes, lovely, lovely. Okay, folks, so sex. Let's be honest. We all do it. Sometimes with people, sometimes by ourselves, sometimes imagining different scenarios. But sex is a huge part of our world. And I'll tell you from looking at the research my beautiful wife has done in this show for me, holy shit, there's a lot more crazy shit out there than I even knew. And I love it. I, of course, am a complete innocent. I've never had sex. I've never touched a woman. I don't know any of those rude and disgusting and inappropriate things that people do. I am a good guy. Holier than thou is basically what I'm trying to say to you. And as you can tell, look at the face. This is the face of an angel. Okay? Face of an angel. Oh God, what is Jessup saying? This is gonna be a bad show. This is going to be like rough because you guys are just going to be bombarding me with stuff. Oh, and we've also got a special guest joining us later. The special guest is someone that some of my Viking colleagues will know. He didn't get a chance to appear at any of the events this year, and basically he's been missed. I know, so he will be coming. He'll be coming on. Poor Krista. Okay. So sex is basically is a very human thing, isn't it? It's every animal, forget human, everyone, every creature, every living organism likes a wee bit of the bumping uglies or things like that. All I remember about the sexual education in high school was something about the bird has no penis. And that has stuck with me to this day. The bird has no penis. But I thought that was always a bit kind of vague because I'm pretty sure there must be some sort of birds that may have a penis-like object. But basically, sex is something we get taught about in school. Most of us giggle our way through. Some of us are fascinated, and then we move on to develop these urges as our bodies grow. And as our hormones develop, we all become frisky little beasties that basically want to go out there and touch and poke and lick and kiss and jab and thrust and grind and just do every sort of delightful thing that we can. And if you're a guy, unfortunately, Jesus, hellish. I mean, puberty for most guys is pretty brutal. I mean, there's probably not a guy out here that hasn't looked at a whole. Okay, let's not go there. Sex is a very fascinating subject, but this is also going to be really awkward for me because you guys know me so well. You know my brain is going to fire off in different directions. We'll start by laying the ground rules of this conversation. And this is a conversation, this show. I want you guys to interject. I do actually want comments, questions, etc. We will do a question and answer time later on in the show. But I'm going to put it really bluntly for you all. There are two types of thought process in sex in my world. There's the male's view and the female view. To guys, I'm going to be brutally honest. We are very basic. We are very blunt instruments. Give us a lukewarm pot noodle and we can pretty much get off. Okay? That's the end of the story, guys. Don't lie. We are that basic, right? It doesn't matter, right? Copy a penthouse and a lukewarm pot noodle. Most guys call that a fucking good weekend. Okay? For a lady, on the other hand, there's a lot more complexity and intricacy and beauty about the whole process. And women love sex as well. Don't fucking ever believe for a minute that they don't. But they are a little bit more complex and a little bit more delightful. And it's a bit harder work in a way, which is great because it means if you're a proper person, you put the goddamn work in and time to learn. You get the schematics, you find the programming, you get all the manuals that you basically have to look at all the bits, touch here, poke here. As Craig Ferguson said, he did a lot of this in his teenage years. This was basically his whole sex life and his whole teenage years. Okay. If there's any man out there that doesn't get that, I should say, this conversation is going to be a bit weird. And I will apologize. It will probably focus a lot more on heterosexual sex, simply because that's my experience. Okay. However, I do take into consideration that there are people, there's a whole broad range of sexual proclivities, passions, attitudes out there. So please, I do apologize from the offset. I'm not trying to be an asshole about this. It's just I'm working from more my experience. So basically, yeah, don't be upset if I don't make this more generic at times. But yeah, oh, for God's sake, ducks have corkscrew penises. Cliff, how did I know you would know something like that? Yeah. Yes, we know the tents don't block sound. Trust me, we've heard stuff at those Viking villages that we never want to hear again. Okay, sorry, just reading those comments, folks. So yeah, sex is it's a very natural thing. It's a very basic thing, and it starts off like, it's the way of it. Now, going back, if we look at it historically, sex, they'll have you believe in a lot of the history books and those manuals and those amazing pieces of writing fiction like the Bible that it's only for procreation. Sex is only designed to increase the species. But the reality is that is a lot of bullshit, folks. We all know that basically sex is so much fun that you don't want to just do it to get someone pregnant or to have children. You do it because it's bloody good fun. I mean, most of us would do it all the time if we didn't have to work or have responsibilities or be getting older and shit. It's just like fucking, I'm pretty no, Don't even fucking go. Sorry, folks. I nearly went into a really bad thought there. And it's like, no, we're not going into our parents. None of us want to know about our parents. Okay. It never happened. Yes, you're actually right, Liam. That is one of the problems about the Scots. Basically, our foreplay is Martha, get your helmet on. I'm coming in. That's pretty much our foreplay. We have no concept of lovemaking. It's yeah. Basically, if they don't put their helmet on, if they get brain damage or concussion from the headboard with the initial impact, it's their fault. That's life. Okay. Let's get back to reality. I've got my list here again. My wife has given me that list thing to try and keep me on focus. But basically, sex, okay? It all began in the beginning of time. Man, woman, beastie, bird, dinosaur, T-Rex. Mind you, that would be... Okay, if anyone can answer me how T-Rex do foreplay, please, they're little... It's not going to work. I mean, anyway, it's weird. My mind's going off in like total tangents here tonight. Yeah, basically, it's been from the dawn of time. However, if you believe in the Bible, you will know that the first ever sexual experience, and we're going with the more traditional views because a lot of the religious kind of Bibles want to eradicate the concept, but of the previous wifey. But Adam and Eve. Okay, let's start there. Now, sex by our standards is very tame. If you think about the principles of sex back then, where basically they had to make man and woman, then Adam got it rough because he literally got thrust into and he got a rib snapped basically to create woman. If you believe in that stuff. Now, that's a pretty aggressive sexual act by any standards, particularly if it's by the big yin, as they say. So, all of a sudden, you basically have Adam and Eve. Eve's created out of Adam's ribcage, and then they get jiggy with it, and boom. They are the original creators of man and woman. And God, they went at it like rabbits, clearly, once they worked out all the principles, because they had to create quite a lot of people to create a race. And then, just like a knock-on effect, we all roll on. And that's if you believe in that nonsense. Because that nonsense does eradicate the humorous concept of T-Rex foreplay. That's why I never believe in the fictional books. What we go? Same as it is now. Oh my God. They can't pull hair for sure. Oh my God, Cliff, really? Really? Oh, I knew this. Tickle and bite the neck like the velociraptor that ambushes the female and jumps. Snail. That's awesome. Yeah, but they're a bit, I don't know. Yeah, okay, we'll go for that. There's tickling and biting of the necks. That's how T-Rexes get jiggy with it. But basically, God, I'm sweating already. This is a complex. This is like, you can tell I'm not comfortable. Even me, who's very relaxed about shit. Okay, I should explain, right? My past life in Edinburgh, I was dealing with a lot of different cultures and people. When I was running an alternative clothing shop, I used to dress strippers, exotic dancers, burlesque artists, the gay scene, the goth scene, the fetish scene. I literally dressed them all, and I've seen it all. There is nothing worse than a Saturday afternoon when the shop is filled with families, when an exotic dancer walks out of the changing room wearing nothing but a G-string and the set of heels that she took in to try on, and she walks out pretty much in the buff with the heels on saying, do these look okay on me? So when it comes to stuff like this, I am really kind of like, I've seen it all and been through it all, and I've fetish clubs and all that. You see some weird stuff. And you know what? It rolls off you and you have fun with it. But actually talking about this subject is actually kind of like, I'm like, oh shit. Because I'm like, wow, I mean, what can you say? Okay, Hands up if anybody in the chat has not had sex. I'm going to wait. It's going to be a really slow response. Okay, from that response, I'm getting the impression that most of you have had sex, which means it's very difficult for me to talk about sex because we've all done it. We all know what it's like. It starts off a little uncomfortable when you're young and fumbly. It moves into being a long time. Oh, snail. Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We'll find. There's always people. There's always people. Don't worry. It starts off fumbling awkward in your teenage years, and then you progress. And at some point, people think they're a master at it, and then they get educated that they're crap at it. And it progresses up, and then eventually you realize that, getting your partner to put a helmet on and just flying in there's a bit more to it, and you've got to be a bit more delicate. So we've all done it. Nick Goats. Well, no. Oh, wait a minute. No, come on. Nick we know he has. He's got proof. The proof is in the pudding with Nick Goats. He has definitely at least 3 times. Sorry, Nick. Love you, man. That was cruel, Lindsay. Okay, so yeah, sex. We've all been there. We've all done it. It's there. And if anyone's watching this show that hasn't had sex, that probably means you shouldn't be watching this show because you're too young. That's pretty much where I'll call the cutoff in this show. I got a shocked face from someone. Oh dear. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't mean to be rude. If anyone is religious out there, I will take the piss out of religion. That's my opinion. I respect yours as a religious person, so I'm just making sure that you're aware of that. I will always take the piss out of stuff, but I actually do respect a lot of things, apart from gingers. Now I'm going to get abuse off my friend because I just saw him make a comment, so I couldn't resist that. But yeah, sex is there. And from the research that my wife's done, she came up with some amazing stuff that just basically blew my mind because there's so many crazy things out there. So we could basically talk about bumping and grinding, and we can talk about, really shouldn't do that hand gesture tonight. We could talk about ginger is sexy, Nick. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you believe that. In a dark room it is. A very, very dark room. Like one of those sealed box rooms where there's no light. That's when it's sexy. And no light switch and no candles. Like that blackness that you can only get in death. That's the kind of blackness that I'm talking about. Yeah. That was a bit cruel. Sorry. Okay. I need to focus tonight, folks. You can tell I'm not 100% focused. I'm a wee bit erratic, probably because I'm uncomfortable with this subject. Because I'm not going to tell anyone I'm an expert at sex. I know where the bits go. I know what the bits do. But yeah, okay. So sex. I got this. I've got some things before we get into the fun and silly shit that's going on. However, sex. Anybody that wants to learn more sex, this is apparently one of the guidebooks that has been around for years. We all know of the Kama Sutra, and I was flicking through this earlier, and it made me feel very unfit. That's all I'm going to say to you. Now, I can't show you any pictures because sadly they do show. I was just checking the front cover. There is nudity. There's definitely nip slips. And there's definitely there's buttocks, and there is definitely showing signs of sex. But so I can't really show you this what's in this because basically Facebook would have this show even more banned. So I've got to be really what's this large print? He can finally read it. You asshole, Nick. But yes, you're actually right. This is the Big Boys Book of the Kama Sutra. The writing is really big, and how the shit do you... I'm really unfit, clearly, because when you're flicking through this, there's some positions in here that you're just like, now that defies, like, that's going to give you a sore back. That's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, that's going to hurt your back. Jesus Christ. I love it. Yeah, I could flick through this all night and just laugh at it because this is hilarious. However, it is apparently the manual for sex and intimacy with your partner. I will be losing some weight shortly and trying this out. Love you, darling. This is actually my wife's. I'm not even going to lie. Right? I didn't buy this. This is hers. When we started doing this show, she educated me in a lot of the information, and I'm sitting there going, "What?" But I'm what? And yes, it was quite terrifying. But yeah, this is the Kama Sutra. I would pick one of these up if you're interested in investigating any section. So I kind of laughing at some of the positions because I'm just like, really, yeah, okay, mate, yeah, fucking hell. So the Kama Sutra's there, but if anyone's interested in a little bit of love play, there's things like this. Everyone likes a bit of a handcuffy cuffy. These are the amateur handcuffs, and that's why they don't rotate and do the full-on click thing, which is annoying because you should be able to just go whack and hook someone up with them. Lots of other things you can get for sex. This is a nice one. I think we got this for our, or maybe it was Krista got this on her hen night sort of thing. Little sex vouchers, always fun. I particularly like the go fuck me cards. Yeah, lots of good stuff. And yeah, there's lots of cool things you can do with sex and have sex. But you know what? At the end of the day, you guys know all this. Everybody knows how to have sex. And if you don't know how to have sex, we'll talk about that later in the question and answer stuff. Don't worry, Jacob. Yeah, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm really worried my in-laws are also watching this. We told them not to. And it's probably that's why I'm a bit more nervous and trying to and more erratic because I'm just like, who is watching this? Never even thought that my own dear mother might watch it. And then she'll find out I'm not her little angel. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got the better quality ones, Jacob. But yeah, sex is really fascinating. And through the research for this show, and I decided I was just going to make it a bit more lighthearted and silly, we found some amazing stuff out there, right? Like amazing old bylaws and things like that are still in existence in countries and in places. And yes, I'm going to laugh at these. So please, hopefully no one will get insulted by some, but some of them are just crazy. Like, for example, here's one that we found out. What was it? Calgary. Apparently, anal sex was banned until about 20 years ago, and even for married couples. So, let's just off the, knocking the thing with a thing out the thing. It's a sports reference. Yeah. Basically, yeah, apparently like crazy stuff like that, man, but here we go. Here's a wee list, and I love some of these. So this is just to start with, just to see how sex is approached around the world. And we in the sort of Western civilization, I suppose, the world, we're actually really lucky because our laws are quite relaxed compared to some other places, guys. So, and ladies, of course, because, whether you're into men, women, unicorns, it doesn't matter. Okay, maybe the unicorn one does because that gets a bit creepy, unless it's a female, apparently, in some places. But okay, here's a wee list of crazy laws for some of you to be shocked at and some to be giggle. Okay, in Dubai, public displays of affection can result in 10 days jail time for both parties involved. So, I want you to imagine that, folks. We're not even talking about like literally ripping each other apart. We're talking about if you kiss your partner in Dubai in public, you can get arrested. That's just crazy. This one I really like because I know, Jacob, you're going to be very upset by this one. But playing chess is illegal while you're in the middle of sex in Tallinn, Estonia. So if you're playing chess in Tallinn, you are not allowed to start having sex. I'm sorry for all you avid chess players. If you don't want that amazing combination of, the bishop up your, basically, don't go to Tallinn, Estonia. Sexual relations with a porcupine are strictly barred by law in Florida. I don't even know what to say about that one, folks. Like, the logistics alone are terrifying from both male and female perspectives. Why would you want anything with the savagery of those quills to be near an area of delicacy? I mean, let's be honest, like, okay, from a guy's point of view, that's just like shish kebab. And from a female point of view, I don't even want to imagine the trauma that is going to. I mean, I suppose if you're into piercings, it's probably a cheap way to get. Yeah, hey, what, Prince Albert? Oh, you know how to get that? Just go fuck a porcupine. That'll sort that one out for you. It's like, holy shit. Why would that law exist? And then you start to think, it's America. And you go, yeah, and it's Florida. And you just think, wow. Yes, I want to find the actual story of how that law came into as well, Jacob. Masturbation in Indonesia is a serious offense that can result in up to 32 months in jail. Now, we've all choked one off or flicked the bean, okay? Basically, to get 32 months in jail, is that not just going to basically make the people do it more in jail? Because basically, if you're in jail for getting done for masturbation, you're probably just going to get your sentence extended continuously by masturbating in jail. There's probably not much. Yes. Okay, I see what you're all about to say, but let's keep it clean. There's probably other ways in jail, but we'll keep it clean. See you in 25 to 30. Oh my god, Liam, that's good. Oh, this is a problem. Liam, we are never apparently going to Iowa. Mustached men are forbidden from habitually kissing other people in public in Iowa. I mean, seriously. Some of these make no sense. Louisiana is one of the 4 states where it is illegal to commit neck. I shouldn't even laugh. Give me a moment. I just read the rest of the. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this actually real? These are real laws. Louisiana. I can't even give a straight face. Give me a minute. Louisiana is one of the 4 states where it is illegal, sorry, not even illegal, I misread that, where it is legal to commit necrophilia, oral and anal, with a corpse. However, it is strictly forbidden. Let me repeat that. Louisiana is one of the 4 states where it is legal to commit necrophilia, oral and anal sex with a corpse. However, it's strictly forbidden. So basically what they're saying is, oh, you're a naughty boy for putting your penis in that corpse, but we're not actually going to do much else other than just slap your wrist. Do you see my face? I don't know. Oh my God. If a person decides to have sex, oh my God. Like my wife kind of roughly went over these with me, but now that I'm reading them, I'm like, oh, this is so good. All right. Oh. I'm really struggling here, folks. And my throat's really gone tonight as well, which makes me sound like Muttley from the Wacky Races. If a person decides to have sex with a rodeo clown in Massachusetts, it is against the law for it to be in the presence of horses. Give me a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Like, apparently horses are very sensitive to sex, and they look at it and they're just like, you are a dirty bugger. Get out of here with your clown sex. Take your red nose and your honking boots out of here and do that elsewhere. Oh my God. Oh, geez. I'm not even like through many of these lists, man. This is crazy. Oh, I can't believe none of you have commented on clown sex. I mean, that's just like, that's the best. I mean, I have a question though. Is Massachusetts one of the 4 states where you're allowed to have sex with a corpse? Because could we double up a rodeo clown having sex with a corpse in front of horses? And if it is horses, is it the funeral home horses? Funeral homes don't really have horses anymore, probably, but I felt I needed to throw that in there. Oh my God, I'm going to lose so many viewers on this show. Oh God, this is crazy. Okay. Are you kidding me? I'm learning that there's some really sick fuckers in the States and like there's stories behind this. In Minnesota, it is illegal to have sex with a live fish. Dead fish are, however, fair game. Don't know, guys. I don't know where this shit comes from. I hear clown cunnilingus tastes funny. Ladies and gentlemen, boom, boom, another dad joke from Cliff Cox. You're getting the Scottish frown, mate. I will kill you with a blunt pin. Clown sex is the best. Oh my God. Who are my audience? So there you go. Films depicting sexual intercourse or full frontal nudity are banned in Nepal. Thank God that's tame. I can actually speak. In Texas, you cannot own more than fucking hell. In Texas, you cannot own more than 6 dildos at a time. 1 dildo, get out of here. 2 dildos, no. 6 dildos, now you're talking. Yeah. Like, honestly, that is just a weird law. Limiting people to the amount of dildos. I mean, what if it's a dildo museum? Come on, Texas. There's got to be dildo museums out there. And you're telling that dildo museum, no, you can only have 6 dildos, mate. No, you can't have that 7th dildo. I don't care if it was Queen Victoria's. You cannot have that dildo. Get it out of here. 6 is the limit. Oh, my God. Oh. Clown sex. Ask the expert Melanie Trump. Oh, Margaret, that's joyous. Oh, I love it. Oh, God. In Wisconsin, a man. This is a double entendre one, though. In Wisconsin, a man may not fire a gun during his partner's climax. I don't know what to say about that. So that's just some of the weird laws that are in effect, and I will tell you, there's a lot more, folks. Sex is it's a weird thing. It's an interesting thing. We all love doing it, but it's like, do you know when you look at the world and you look at how things happen? I haven't been able to find out how. Like, I know it's a natural thing, but it's kind of like, at what point did someone go, oh, look, I've got a foo-foo and you've got a foo-foo adapter. Let's see if they fit together. You know what I mean? It's like when I love that kind of concept in my mind. The first people to try it and the looks in their faces must have been like, ooh, ooh. And then, you know, it was just a thing. Like they wrote about it, they tweeted about it, they put it on a stone and said, hey guys, you got to give it a go. I just love that kind of imagery, but you know, sex it's this amazing thing, and I love the fact that there's these bylaws. I mean, who hasn't waited till their partner started to climax, got the 12 gauge out and popped one off into the ceiling just to say, yeehaw, she's coming, or he's coming, or it's coming. It's very difficult. I don't want to sound like I'm like an awful man who doesn't allow other people to have sex. You know, I like everyone having sex, please, but don't show me. Don't send me pictures. Yeah, that's the other thing. There will be no videos or pictures on this chat, mainly because, yeah, I'm not even going there. I nearly said she wouldn't let me. Trust me, the last thing anyone wants to see is this bloated, pale Scotsman's naked body. Oh my God. Anyway, where are we? Oh geez. Okay, couple of kind of darker ones here with reference to these little kind of sex things. Men are blameless for adultery in Egypt, but women can get up to 2 years in prison. No hugging in public in Qatar, I think it is. All sex outside of marriage is illegal in Dubai, making same-sex marriage not recognized, and all homosexual sex is still illegal there. So, you know, there's some weird stuff there going on. But I have massive kind of lists here of sexual stuff. And the thing about sex is, basically you have that kind of basic, let's just say, you know, the what we call the vanilla sex is the term. You know, you start with the basic stuff, you know, that it goes in, it goes around, you do and you wheelbarrow and rodeo and my guide is my reference is coming in.
Your 4 states are Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma are the 4 states where, if you're really into fucking a corpse, make your way there now, folks. Get on down to those beautiful states for a little bit of necrophilia. You know, we've all wanted it. Yeah. So that's going back to that comment for anyone that's just joining, because there's the weirdest segue. Someone's just tuned in, and literally what they're seeing is, hey, Calum is telling us to go to these 4 states to have sex with corpses. But basically that comes from Louisiana is one of the 4 states where it is legal to commit necrophilia, oral and anal sex with a corpse. However, it is strictly forbidden. I lost a viewer there. Someone came in at the wrong time and misheard that message. Oh, God. I'm at a loss, folks. Wow. I'm just looking at all this stuff. Right. So we, as human beings, we always like it bigger, badder, and better, don't we? We can't help like the mundane missionary and reverse cowgirl and wheelbarrow and swinging from the chandeliers and all that stuff. That gets boring for us. Yeah, we're not getting into the marry your own cousin or auntie thing, Snail, simply because just like that would be me. Like, if anyone knows me, you know, I would lose my shit. I'd be off in a rant for about an hour on stuff like that, you know. I've met people like that and they just worry me. Oh, anyway, yeah. So we have our normality sex, and then of course we like to adapt. Human beings are an inventive race, aren't we? So we decided that having a normal sexual relationship, whether you are gay, you're straight, you're into unicorns, that's not enough. So we had to kind of find ways to make the relationships more interesting. And through that, I had to do some research and get some kind of understanding about the terms. Because we've got swingers, we've got open relationships, polyamorous relationships, we've got long distance relationships, hybrid relationships, monogamous, that's the wood type relationship, domestic partnerships, semi open or monogamish. She misspelled that there. Monogamish. We're now renaming it to monogamish. Friends with benefits, which is we've all had friends with benefits, haven't we? Casual, platonic, courtship, engagement. Just I like courtship, so it's so romantic courtship. So there's the terms, and for relationships that we've all come up with. I mean, look at that, guys. Right. So from being in a relationship with somebody, we have now taken it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think 13 variants. And that's all that I found. There may be more. And that's humanity for you. It's like, oh, this is really cool, but how much can we push it? And I love that. I love the fact we're always experimenting. And that's where butt plugs and that came from. Pure experimenting. I always think it was someone just fell on a spoon and went, ooh. Let's not get into that. God, I'm really restless tonight. I can't quite get my groove on. I was sitting comfortably tonight. But yeah, so that's just relationship standards. Monogamish is totally a thing. Did I not misread that? Oh, I actually, right. Sorry. That is actually a term, Cliff. You're right. My apologies. I thought it was just a misspelling from a previous thing, but monogamish is actually right. Oh, cool. Because I've just semi-open is what I've always kind of looked at and viewed that term. I don't even know why you're saying that, Cliff. I don't know. But yeah, so we've got all these different sort of like relationship status now. And then, of course, you move into kind of the sexuality. Now, what I'm about to kind of just read the list off is by no means probably a finite list. A lot of the terms I am still learning. So by no means am I going to go into a full kind of scope. But, when we look at sexuality now, we have heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, pansexual, transsexual, cisgender, gay, lesbian, because obviously quite often when we talk about homosexual, it's quite often referred to as from the male point of view. So basically we're just trying to, these are our terms that I discovered. So yeah, there's all this crazy, wonderful and delightful stuff. Oh, asexual, I forgot asexual, which is no interest in intimacy. But yes, I'm trying to make this very vague because I don't want to insult and I don't want to mess up some of these terminologies because, there's so much into it and there's a lot of complex stuff going on. But the reality is, folks, sex is there. We all love doing it. We have lots of toys. We have dildos, vibrators. We have cock rings. We have butt plugs. We have handcuffs. We have chop pens. We have bondage rope. We have sex swings, which I've never tried. And basically we have all this wonderful things and life goes on. I mean, my whole previous life before this, it was just, you'd go out in Edinburgh, you'd meet someone, you would end up in a graveyard. Okay. There isn't a graveyard in that city I probably haven't desecrated. I'm only saying that now. I'm being open and honest about it. And not with a corpse before anyone throws that shit in there, because it is illegal in Edinburgh as well. But not in Aberdeen for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, sex is an interesting thing. And I've got all these websites open. Let's just have a wee look. there's more laws, there's more weirdness out there, and I'm just kind of going to go through some of the terms. Like, remember I said, we have sex, and then as humanity, we like to evolve it and try different things. Well, there's all these lovely different types that I even got, like fetish. Would that be the term to use? Would fetish be the right term? Sexual proclivities. We've developed all these wee things, and of course, exhibitionist, fetishist, frotourism, voyeurism, all these things, So we're evolving how sex and how we are as sexual beings. I mean, Jesus, Jings Crivens, man. I don't know if I can read half this stuff, man, because it's just amazing. I'm like just sitting here, mind boggling. It was a very bad segue, Lindsay. As I mentioned, my brain is definitely feeling like it's covered in bees tonight. I'm flying away in all different angles. So my segues, my balance of the show, everything is definitely going to be off tonight. It's just one of those things. It happens to me every so often. Some nights I'm completely focused in my brain and looking at the job in hand, and then other nights I'm basically covered in bees. And those are the nights that I'm like, I'm covered in bees. And nothing really makes sense. And there is we're just all over the place. So let's have a look at some of these sites, because there was some interesting stuff that I misread that one. That was weird. There's more laws I want to read you later as well, because some of those laws are amazing. So let's have a look at the kinks and fetishes. So some of these may relate to you. I don't, if you just, give me a hell yeah or something if any of these relate to you. I don't want to go through them all, though. Some of them are quite funny. Some of them are not funny. Wrong word, Calum. Some of them are very interesting, and I don't, I'm learning all these ones. Right. So we all know things like the latex. People have that latex fetish, which is basically, PVC rubber latex, fairly standard. That's a huge one with a lot of the kind of fetish scene, as I'll call it, is using that generic term for the nightclubs, etc., like Torture Garden in the UK. Bondage is one, everyone likes a wee bit of bondage every so often, restraining the person with physical objects, etc. No. Out of the exhibitionist. Yeah, that is true, Liam. Yeah, that is true. Face sitting is a fetish for a lot of people. I don't think I need to explain that one for you. What else we got? Orgasm denial. God, could there be anything more horrendous? I mean, I get it. I could see that kind of maintaining. It's basically, if anyone's not familiar with that one, type of play where a person's orgasm is denied, limited, ruined, or delayed. I'm sure that must be very, like, that build-up must be amazing for people, but Jings Crivens, that must be a hellish thing to have to put up with. Foot fetish, we all know that one. Crurophilia, a kink related to legs. That's quite a nice one. That sounds nice, legs are always good. Queening, I don't think that one's on this list that I've got here. As I say, guys, these are all very limited lists. There will be a lot more out here. Let me see. Queening. I've got another list open here. I don't see that one either. Okay, explain that one to me, please, sir. What does that one refer to? Probably make complete sense once you have explained it. Come on, mister, with your vague referencing. Spit it out, sir. That could be an appropriate term to use. Oh, so what do we got here? No, I've got another list. Let's just check. That might be on here. No. God, thanks. You've got me now looking. Zoophilia, the arousal of non-human animals. Voyeurism. There was a couple on here that I really liked. Oh, yes. Europhilia. Love it. Arousal to urine. to urine or urinating on others? Actually, corpophilia was one. I had a partner very long time ago, and she wanted to do that. And if anyone's not familiar with corpophilia, um, arousal to feces, I was like, nope, hell no.
He did explain it. Cleaning his face sitting.
Oh, thank you, Cliff. Face sitting. What a weird term for face sitting. Queening. Interesting. But yeah, so there's a lot of weird and wonderful things. I'm just reading a lot of shit now, guys. I mean, I'm loving this. Like, honestly, some of the stuff that I've been reading up and looking at from my beautiful wife, is it not worrying that a 45-year-old man had to get educated on sex, though? Probably not, to be honest. If we're all very honest as men, we're pretty damn useless. And Cliff, did you really have to go there with golden showers? Did you? Jings Crivens, man. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole list of wonderful and exciting stuff out there. And you know what? No one is ever judging you. I am a man who's a great believer in nice lingerie. That's my life. I love good lingerie. Don't want to give too much away. I'm trying not to give too much of my own sexual life away during this show because, you know, that could be a bit embarrassing. Most people know me, and that might make Did I say 45? I'm only 43. Did I say 45? Jings. Okay, folks, apparently I'm not out of it today. I don't even know my own age. Definitely not 100% today. Something is definitely not right with me because if I can't even remember my own age, I'm in trouble. Yes, Lindsay, brutally honest, you know what? I totally agree with what you're saying. Men do understand so little of the biology, especially female. Like, okay, it goes back to what I said at the beginning. Give us a lukewarm pot noodle. We can stick our cock in it and we'll get off. Okay? We are really simple. The female anatomy is a beautifully complex thing. And I personally believe it's every man's mission to basically focus their whole life on learning and understanding that. I think most of the men on this chat that I know, we've had these sort of conversations around campfires, and we're all very much in agreement that basically it should always be all about the women. When you hear these assholes saying they do it just to get their rocks off, it's just they're douchebags. It should literally be 100% about the women. Sex is not about the man. Man is easy. Man is simple. To use that horrible term, any hole's a goal concept. That's what I'm saying. Give us a lukewarm pot noodle. You know, give it a couple of shakes. We're done. You know, well, a woman is a much more beautiful and complex thing, and I totally agree. So, all men out there, make sure that basically you're researching and studying and working hard on knowing the female anatomy. And then I can guarantee you one thing: you'll still not know half of what needs to be known, but at least you're on the way. Most of the viewers here are older gentlemen or of a certain age that have experienced. So this is a life lesson to pass on to the younger children. To pass it on when you have kids, sit them down and say, okay, son, one day, if that is the way you wish to go and you decide that you are a straight male, or, you know, the one thing I'm going to tell you is understand a woman's anatomy. You know, sit down. Here's the books. Do you see this? Yes, I know it's not that pretty looking. It looks a bit weird. It's like a face hugger from the movies Alien that I showed you last week. I did that as a kind of warm up to this. But, you know, learn it, understand it. Look at the beauty of it. Yes, some are going to look like the Sarlacc monster from Star Wars. Some are going to be beautiful, but you just sometimes have to overcome your fear. You need to sometimes just, you know, just get in there and make sure you know what you're doing. And if you decide that you prefer boys, well, seriously, you don't need to learn much. Just hold on, give it a few tugs, and it'll be fine. You don't need to learn too much. Guys are simple. And that's basically the pep talk that my son's going to get if I ever have one. He is basically going to get sat down and he's going to be warned that some of them, Sarlacc, some of them beautiful, just delightful things. And basically, you just have to learn that anatomy. You need to Wait a minute, I'm waiting for my wife to kick the door in and say, like, hell, I'm not doing that. The Sarlacc, you know, the great pit in the sand with the tentacles and the teeth. Oh, come on, guys, you can't lie. We've all come across one that looks like that, and you're like, ah! It's, yeah. I'm being really horrible because I can guarantee most women have looked at a penis and went, oh, for God's sake, because they're horrible. Like, I'm sorry, ladies. I from a male point of view, I'm going to say this. I am very sorry that you need to put up with that thing. I mean, I look at mine, I'm just like, what the fuck is it? I mean, it's like, you know, and as Billy Connolly said, it's like that old joke, you know, it's not even like the cock is that bad. It's like the fucking extra elbow skin that they fucking put your balls in. You know, it was like, oh, we've got excess elbow skin, says God, so we'll just fucking put a wee bag and wrap our testicles in it. And basically, it's a hideous looking wee thing. It's just, oh, you look at the fucking balls and, oh, jeez. It's just a weird fucking thing, man. I feel sorry for women. I mean, the first woman that came across a penis must have just been like, what the shit balls is that? But, you know, I was waiting for the well-deserved slap. I was trying to be a mature, what's the words I'm looking for here, Lindsay? I was trying to show my openness to educate the world. But yeah, basically, I make an apology to all women because the penis is a rather unattractive looking thing. Yeah, you know what? Dick pics. I'm probably been guilty of it myself in the past. I can't remember. But yeah, you're right. I mean, seriously, what's the word? It's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, yeah. I'm hearing this photo. Yeah, just kind of staring at you. Yeah, not doing much. It's like I'm fucking useless. I'm just a photo of this weird fucking thing. And then, of course, you know, it's maybe starts to get like flaccid, and it's like, yeah, I'm sure. Of course, that reference is for European men and not for most people over here who are circumcised. But yeah, they're dick pics, man. That's a whole different thing. You know, online sex stuff, man. That's the weirdest fucking thing. Like that whole thing of people like doing that flirting, like Tinder and all that kind of fucking, you know, flicking back and forth and online stuff and sending dick pics. But yeah, I've never quite understand that. Guys, be honest. How many of you have sent a dick pic? And what do you mean? What the hell, Cliff? Oh, yeah. I keep looking at the viewing numbers and thinking, oh God, who's watching this that keeps disappearing on me? No, well done. Well done, Snail. Yeah, I've probably been guilty. I'm just trying to think, did I send one to my wife? I don't know. They had a long-term relationship, not a long-term, a long-distance relationship going for a while when I was back in Scotland. There might have been nonsense like that. But anyway, yeah, penises, dick pics. You know what, guys? They're not sexy. They're not attractive. Ladies, I'm going to also say the same thing because I've had it in the past. Vagina pics don't really work either. One, the angle's really fucked up. Like at least with a dick pic, you just kind of go, all right, it's there. But for a woman, they've kind of got it, you know, and the angle's all wrong, and it looks fucking weird, and it's just. Yeah, yes, I did. Oh, thanks for admitting that publicly. You could have at least just stuck your head in, wife. So apparently I did send my wife a dick pic once. So I am now a completely ashamed individual. However, she still married me. I don't know what that says. Yeah, but fuck, I don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed. Anyway, folks, let's move on. I think we should actually do a very serious part of this show now. We should move on to our question and answer section and our helping section, because I thought it'd be quite nice if anyone out there has maybe any questions about sex or sexual issues or problems, or even just they want to find out more about a certain thing they've been worrying about, or just some sort of random thing. So I'm giving you guys the option to ask questions and will I get them answered? But however, to do this, I need to do one thing. I need to put on a very special item because there is only one way to answer questions about sex or sexual proclivities or sexual acts, and that is by wearing my Unicorn of Love hat. Anyone who has been in the Viking village with me knows of my Unicorn of Love hat. Many a campfire has been had with this. Now, I will point out, actually, folks, it is a really bad unicorn hat. It's one of those woolly bunnet unicorn hats. However, I did get drunk one night and it got turned. And where are we? I don't even know where my horn is. Story of my life. And I became the Unicorn of Love. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for one time only, live on A Scotsman Blathers About, the Unicorn of Love will be fielding your questions about sex, sexual acts, sexual problems, and love. So please feel free to ask away, folks. The Unicorn of Love is in the house. I've got a big long message to read while you guys are typing. Okay, Snail. Wow. Right. Okay. Yes. Do you know what? Snail, I don't know how many people can see that message. I'm presuming you're okay because you put it out publicly on Twitch. You're okay for me to kind of reference it. Can you just give me confirmation if you're okay for me to reference that? Because I will also respect people's privacy. While I'm doing that, I'll just read another couple. Perfect, Snail. That's great. I'm just making sure it's a respect thing, of course. So, interestingly enough, I've had a similar weird experience. So, Snail just posted there that he had a girl put 9 scratches down his back from neck to belt with a 34 centimeter hunting knife while we were massaging each other. I have actually had a very strange past experience. When I worked in the Royal Mile Armories selling medieval weaponry and that, I ended up going on a few dates with a customer that kept coming in, and I thought nothing of it. But what I didn't actually realize is her whole thing was the weapons. She was really into them, and she kept asking for, I don't know if there's I didn't even see one there. She basically wanted to play with knives a lot during things. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but knives be sharp and pointy. And private parts don't generally like sharp and pointy bits near them. So all I'm going to say is that was a relationship that didn't last very long. So I totally get what you're saying there, Snail. That was, I sympathize, mate, but that was a bit weird. Yeah, definitely. Using it on your back without warning is pretty brutal. This hat's really fucking warm, by the way. Okay, yes, Jacob, the unicorn hat, the Unicorn of Love. I did warn Nick this was going to happen. I don't know if he's still here. Yes, it's a really bad Viking hat that became the Unicorn of Love, darling. I'm actually going to go buy a unicorn hat, okay? It's going to become a thing. My horn's skew-if. That's probably an issue that a lot of men have. Mine's usually quite straight. This one's a bit squiffy tonight. Okay. Excellent, Snail. Well, I appreciate you letting me kind of talk about that. I want something. Well, okay, I had a massive second drive from most of my life. Why has it dropped so suddenly over the last year? Hormones. Okay, Cliff, you're okay to talk about that. Well, Cliff, as you told me, you're about to become 40. And when a man ages, sometimes his sex drive drops off. Other times it's steroids, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. And basically it happens to all men, but then it comes back. It comes back in weird spits. I mean, I'll be brutally honest. My sex drive goes up and down like a fucking roller coaster. But when it comes back, Jesus Christ, it comes back in style. But yeah, it's a weird thing. Also, what I will say is a lot of I've actually weirdly been speaking to a lot of people about stuff like this just casually. People, friends, and that message me, and a lot of people have actually been finding their sex drives, and this year has diminished no matter what age, simply because of the COVID thing and the stress and the uncertainty of life, and the fact that a lot of people are stuck together. And this is when a lot of relationships realize that they hate each other. Okay, they might be fucking like bunnies beforehand, and then COVID hit, and they're like, I really fucking hate you because you're in my face all the time. I liked it when I kind of saw you 2 hours a day. That was fine. But now you're here like 24 hours. I think I'm going to fucking castrate you with this cheese knife. And basically, it is one of those things. So yes, Cliff, don't worry about it. It will come back. Also, a weird thing is, um, like hitting the 40 mark is a big age, man. A lot of people do get a wee bit stressed. They think they're past it. And then you start to realize that you've got like a 30-year-old wife, and you're like, fuck, I'm doing okay, man. Yeah, I'm doing okay. So that's how life works. Don't worry about it. Your sex life will come back. Your sex drive will come back. Life will be amazing again. My advice would be try to cut down the smoking and the booze. And that's just a friend talking to you, because I love you, big guy. Not second sex drive. I don't know what you're meaning. I'm presuming your sex drive is done, or do you not have sex? I don't know, Cliff. You need to stop. Like, clearly you can't even type. Yes, there is a weird thing, and I don't know if it's actually there is a term for it, but there is a lot of there's a weird sort of a weaponry thing going on. What do you mean, you bastard? You fucking typed it up, asshole. I'm just kind of replying. Okay, does anyone else have anything they'd like to discuss with the unicorn of love? That's me, by the way. Okay, hey, still Calum. Okay, see? It's like a superhero costume. Like, none of yous even realized it was me, probably. You kind of got lost because I went into really mature and kind of sensible man. It's the new phone. Oh, well, that's another reason your sex drive might be going. If you're keeping the phone close to your testicles, it might be nuking you. Unicorn, Sarah. It's a unicorn, not a narwhal. It's a unicorn. I'm going to have to buy a proper unicorn hat. Yes, you are, Calum. I know I'm going to have to buy one. We'll see how it goes. I need to ask the wife if she will allow it. Oh, she's pretty easy going. Okay, come on, guys. Someone else is going to have a really interesting topic, question they want to ask the unicorn of love. I've brought this out specially for you guys. I am literally sweating. I'm going to say it, my balls off wearing this hat. The heat is literally oozing down, and my testicles are dripping. They're moist. I said it. This whole subject is a moist subject. It's a unicorn, folks. So now ask me a question. Oh no, Sarah, you shouldn't have done that. Oh my God, he'll hate me even more. But then again, he's not as, I'm more fun. No, Turkey's stream is always great fun. He's been a great guest. So thank you for joining, Sarah. I didn't want to take any of his guests from him, but I appreciate you joining me for this very random conversation. It's been a little bit incoherent and fun, but I always enjoy it. But anyway, guys, the unicorn of love is in the house. I should have put a banner. Oh, I should have made a unicorn of love banner. Ah, okay. Oh, sorry, Sarah. My brain went, well, obviously this conversation's got somebody ready for bed. Sorry, Sarah. That's me being very crude and rude. But yeah, folks, if anyone's got another question, come on. I'm being serious here. Let's do this. Ask me a question about any sexual problems, preferences, any issues, anything you want to find out about sex. The unicorn of love is here. I'm waiting. I'm not leaving until somebody asks. So, do you know what happened to the Chevy Girls Gets Bored? I don't know what that is, Elaine. Sorry. Okay. Dogs humping each other. Yeah. So basically, Cliff, my friend, has been popping over to the house a wee bit. We've been doing work in the workshop together, and he recently got himself a very beautiful bull mastiff boxer cross. Everybody knows that I have a very handsome young pup called Hamish. He's now 2 years old, who's a shepherd, German shepherd collie cross. We now have a love relationship going on between our two dogs. They are the bestest friends, but they are also, and I'm going to be crude, and please don't take this and insult in the wrong way, but they're totally gay for each other. They are. Like, those two are just, there's a lot of dominance going on. He's trying to like hump each other, which dogs do for dominance, but there's a lot of penis licking going on, which is hilarious because it's just like, guys, seriously, at least fucking put on, like, sell tickets or something. There's people who'll pay for that shit. You know, make us some cash. But yes, Cliff, dogs, basically, when they do the humping, it's a dominance thing. In the case of our two dogs that are big, boorish, mindless idiots, I just think they're in love. It's a beautiful relationship. I'm not going to stop it. I have no problems if my dog wants to be that way. He is entitled to be that way. Just as if my kids decide to be gay, straight, unicorns, they will be whatever they want to be, and I don't give a damn. That's basically my principle. So my dog's getting treated the same way. So yes, they're beautiful dogs, but they're definitely really into each other, which is hilarious because both of them have no balls. I love that. But anyway, there you go, Cliff. Hope that answered. So what else we got here? Taraya, oh my goodness, matchmaking services. You know what? This is a really buggery one. Well, hopefully not. I hate the idea of these apps. Tinder, you know, swipe left or right simply based on looks, which I believe now is just pretty much an app for hooking up and bumping uglies with each other. But yeah, you've got all these things. Get More Fish or some, all these websites. I can't remember what they are. I mean, to be honest, I've never used them. So dating websites and apps I have never used, and I'm proud to say that. Never used them. I did it the old school way all my time. I went out to a bar. I got really drunk. I made an idiot of myself probably far too many times, went home by myself many times, and then occasionally managed to strike up a conversation with somebody who was either equally drunk with me or found me charming and endearing enough to hold a conversation with. Things developed and relationships spawned. Or I went to Brooks and stalked my wife. I was performing. I stalked her. Okay. I always made the joke. She stalked me. I think I stalked her. She's very beautiful. She's charming. She's intelligent. And I just thought she is a beautiful woman. And basically, yeah, I got very lucky from conversation and just being, I am actually very charming and nice when I try. I might not be the best looking guy in the world, but I'm charming and nice when I try. So yeah, Taraya, you know what? And the worst thing is we're in COVID. So my advice can't even work because I would literally just say, go out with your friends, just go and have fun. But I know Canada's different. Like the UK is a big pub party culture where you can go out and meet people any time of the day, and whether you're trying to meet someone for romance or not, you can still go out and like just chat and have great conversation. I know over here's a wee bit different. I think what I've seen, it's not such a strong pub culture, although there are places that are absolutely rammed and partying all the time. So I'm sorry, it's difficult. You know, COVID means you can't even do that. So what can we advise to find a date? Well, I think you should stalk someone. Just find someone that looks good looking and stalk them. If it comes down to it, buy a trank gun, shoot them in the ass, put them in the back of your car, drive them into a cabin in the woods, tie them up, and basically brainwash them until Stockholm syndrome arrives, and then basically live happily ever after. I think that's probably the best advice I could do at the moment, because I'm so far out of the dating thing. I don't get it. In fact, my wife will tell anyone I'm as clueless. Like I am like absolutely clueless about dating or flirting. I'm a crap. I don't. Apparently, women have come up to me after shows with my wife in the audience and flirted with me so blatantly, and I've just been like, "Oh, thank you. Have a nice night." Like, apparently, there was one case where this lady basically told me 8 times where they were going drinking after the show. And I kept going, "That's lovely." And they kept telling me they were going drinking. And Krista is sitting in the audience laughing because she knows what's happening. And I'm just like being very polite and going, "Oh, that's lovely. Well, I hope you enjoy your night." So when it comes to dating, I think the best way is kidnap, brainwashing, and basically Stockholm syndrome. Read some of the Selkie tales from Scotland. They're really good manuals on how to kidnap someone and keep them. Sometimes involves their skin, but that might not work unless they have a seal skin that you can actually hide from them. I probably wouldn't advise flaying the real flesh, because then that might be a bit unattractive, and you might not be as willing to like try a relationship if you've skinned them alive. Also, it'd be a little bit harder to brainwash them because of the pain element that they'll be under. Yeah, I would probably say kidnapping, and avoid skinning if you can. That's probably my advice on relationships at the moment. The unicorn is quite strong and adamant on that. Let's move on. Good, yes. One nighters are no good. One nighters, guys. Now, one nighters are delightful. Okay, just seeing a comment. They are great fun, but the problem is, and here is the problem: you're either going to get really lucky and be really like, from a male perspective, because again, let's put it in, and as I say, I'll talk about the heterosexual standpoint here. From a male perspective, you basically got to be fucking good for that one night. You have got to make sure that everything goes swimmingly well, because if it doesn't, she's going to tell her friends that you were the worst shag that she's ever had, and that's it. Your whole one nighters are gone. So that's the problem with one nighters. If it goes terribly wrong, folks, holy shit! As a male, you're screwed up. Like, it's just so, one nighters are always fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been many occasions that I've had the drunken fumble. One memorable one I don't really want to get into, but all I will say is a very sobering effect is when your bare arse touches a gravestone. That's all I'm gonna say. It's basically very sobering, and then you're like, holy fuck, you know. And that changes your whole world view. Let's see who else is talking here. Stalk me if you like, just don't steal my stuff. Let me see. Yeah, Snail. I was terrible. I always oblivious to flirtation. Yes, yeah. Yes. Well, I'm sorry. To me, it's the best. As I say, just don't flay them. Unless one of your fetishes, because there is one that I read. Oh my goodness, where was it? Darling, you might need to remind me where this one was. Uh, duh, 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 duh. There was one about human flesh. Um, oh my goodness, where are you? It's got a really cool name. That's the urine one. Oh, here we go. Vorophilia, sexual attraction to being eaten by and or eating another person or creature. So, Taraya, if you are a vorophilia fanatic, then flaying them and eating their flesh is absolutely acceptable if that's what floats your boat. Okay. Um, um, Yes, yep. Okay, does anyone else have a question for the Unicorn of Love before we move on? One final question he'll be taking before he goes to rest from these heavy topics he's discussing. Whew, it's getting really warm in here. Holy wow. Just gonna look at these sex cards while you're waiting. Oh, yes, okay. Look at that, 69 straight away. Yeah, always partial. Let's see. Oh, I genuinely kneeling blowjob, always good. Just punch my mic in excitement. Oh, what did you ask, darling? What did I miss? There was a whole list. Oh, right. Okay. I just missed a question up there. I'm going to go back. This one is from my beautiful wife. Oh God, I'm dreading this. Why does the Swedish penis enlargement pump not work, Calum, or something like that? Okay, where are we? Okay. Oh, okay. Why do people call it a clit piercing when the piercing doesn't go through the nerve bundle, which is what the clit is? What's a clitoris, guys? I need help here. What's a clitoris? No, it's okay. To quote Jay and Silent Bob, I am the clit lord. I am the master of the clit. Sorry. Yes. Why do they call that a clit piercing? You know what, darling? I've got to be brutally honest. Piercings, I find, I don't know much about. I've always avoided having anything sharp and pokey going near my penis. I've had friends, I've had Prince Alberts and all that. Apparently, it's supposed to be amazingly stimulating. I have been with females that have had piercings, and apparently very stimulating. But I've always avoided them on my on mini Calum on me. I don't know. Did I ever name my penis? Probably not. No, Jeffrey. No, that's a bit weird. No. Why is it called a clit piercing? I think it's because it's in close proximity. And probably I'll say because most of the piercers are men. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God. And as the old joke says, most men couldn't find a clitoris if it was the size of a barn door. I don't have that problem. I know my clitoris. Not mine, because I don't have one. I hope. I don't know. I just lost myself in a moment there. Yeah, sorry, I honestly can't answer that. Clitoris piercings are amazing, though. I'm just gonna say this, future reverence, women out there, if you've not got one and you've always been thinking about it, they are apparently amazing. From a guy's perspective, very handy. It's kind of like a fucking it's like a target. You at least know you're in the it's like you're within like the zone, so it doesn't take as much of the fumbling about trying to figure out like, whoa, oh shit, no, that's the belly button. And at least it's quite handy. Okay, what I'm saying to the ladies is for most men it means at least they know where they're going, and it's helpful for you because you might actually like be able to educate a man a little bit better on where to go. But yeah, clit piercings always fun. Clitoral hood piercing, technically, yes, which is great because then we know it's to the left and north a bit, or south, and I don't know. It's somewhere in that zone, okay? The mythical clitori, the wee beastie that's known as clitorius, the little thing that it's lurking there. It's like, I'm here. Oh, come find me. It's a mystery to most men. Oh, but what a delight if ever you find it. For the woman, not for the guy. He's just like, thank fuck. Oh my God. So I don't look like a fumbling fucking idiot the rest of my life. We've all been there, guys. I believe all women can climax and squirt, even though some say only certain can. I think it's about mind over matter issues, not biological. Yeah, Brutus. I can't kind of state that to be accurate or not, Snail. Definitely, I think if you're doing the right job, I would say I know there are medical conditions that some people can't come. It's I've read up on that and I found that kind of fascinating. It's such a shame. But I think thankfully most people have the ability. Certainly some people will stop themselves from coming through one reason or another. I've encountered that many times in the past. Not personally. I'm quite happy to let it all flow. You know, just I'm a guy. Pot noodle. Hey, now you're talking. But yeah, I've spoke to a lot of folk on that, and interesting enough, it's a weird conversation. But there are a lot of people. I actually had a good guy friend who couldn't come. He said, "I just can't come. No matter what I do, I literally." And I felt terrible for him. But he says it's just like even he was honest. He said even when he played with himself, he couldn't come. So that was such a shame. Most women are probably going, "Whoa, what's his number?" But yeah, it's one of those things. But as for the squirting thing, as you put it, I wouldn't like to comment too much on that. It's been encountered. It's not been encountered. It's one of those weird things. And I always say if it happens, it's like whoa, fantastic. And if it doesn't happen, you just go well. As long as you make each other happy, I don't think it matters. End of the day, as long as both of you are satisfied after the event, life is good. Is the it is the Clit Commander. That's what it is. Sorry, it's so long since I've seen it. Jane Bob Strike Back or something, isn't it? God. South Nessie. Nessie? Nessie. All right, okay. Because of the little clitoris beastie. Actually, as an awesome hint, when you have a long-term partner, talk to them. See what they like before doing and after. You can develop a pretty rad sex life that way. What do you mean talk to them, Cliff? I don't understand what you mean. Like actually have a conversation with your partner? What? I'm taking the piss. Thankfully, I am actually surprised you didn't charge down there and hit me. There's a reason I took up reenactment. It gives us great helmets. And if you get a good like Saxon Norman helmet to fit your wife, it makes life so much easier. Better than a motorcycle helmet like the old days used to use. No, that's very good advice. Conversation, that's actually the number one thing. You know what? Sometimes it's best just to like say, hey, what do you like? What do I like? Good. Let's work from there because that gives absolutely a great foothold into any sexual relationship. I probably should take more of that advice. Yeah. Brace yourself, love. Is sometimes never good foreplay. Okay. Just saying. But ladies and gentlemen, that comes to the end of our segment with the Unicorn of Love, mainly because I think I'm going to pass out if I keep this woolly bunnet on any longer. So I'm taking it off. Oh my God. Ooh. And the bunnet is a little moist, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. So, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up because this has been a completely meandering, bizarre conversation, which probably doesn't make much sense. I did say I was going to talk about fornication and sex. I didn't say it was actually going to make any sense or be in a cohesive way. The last thing I'd like to do is I've got to look at some more of these crazy laws on sex. So let's just have a couple of look. Oh, let's finish on a giggle. You can't have sex on a parked motorcycle in London. Well, that's just fucking typical of the English, isn't it? Take away all our fun. Oh, yeah, first we're going to persecute your country, Scotland. Then we're going to try and outbreed you because we think there's too many Scots in there. When that doesn't work, we're going to take all your heroes and basically dismember them and put their parts all over 4 countries. But basically, the worst of all, if you ever come to London, we're going to stop you fucking somebody over a motorbike. I mean, really, are you guys just shit or what? I'd say I'm just done. Never again. Never going to England or London again. That has just ruined it for me. What's the challenge? What's the challenge? I missed the challenge. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, Liam and motorbikes. Okay. In China, women are prohibited from walking around a hotel room in the nude. Bathroom isn't off limits, though. But you're in a hotel room. That almost implies that they've got cameras on in their hotel rooms watching people, which then is a little bit fucking creepy in my mind. That's actually true, Chris. They did not specify part or in motion. In motion would be really awkward for the kilt, though. In India, Jesus Christ, this one's dark. In India, marital rape is not considered rape. I don't know what to say about that other than wrong. Just wrong. So wrong. In Nepal and Bangladesh, it is prohibited by law to view movies that have simulated lovemaking or the public areas of men and women. But what public areas? A smoking area? Could this be like, I don't know, like, hey, that's the man's kitchen and that's the woman's kitchen. Basically, it just doesn't make sense to me. Oh yeah. No, wrong. Horrible, Sarah. Yeah, horrible. Oh. In Hong Kong, a wife is legally allowed to kill her cheating husband. Oh, I love this, but only with her bare hands. Yeah, because if you're going to kill that cheating swine, make sure you do it really like gun, nah, axe, nah, knife, nah. I am going to fucking poke their eyeballs out with my bare fingers. Then I'm basically going to take my elongated, very sharp nails and I am going to fucking slice open his ball sack and rip off his jubblies, leaving them in my hand. I will then pop them in my mouth, chew down on them, and then spit the mush into his exposed eyeballs, leaving him screaming, blinded with testicle mush in his eyes. That's how they do it in Hong Kong, folks. Don't fuck over your wife there. Maybe went too far that time. Okay, in Oxford, Ohio, it is illegal for a woman to strip off her clothing while standing in front of a man's picture. Dorian Gray must be a bit sad. Like, there's obviously a reason he never visited Ohio. Really? You cannot strip off naked in front of a man's picture? That doesn't even make sense. What the hell? Under Lebanese law, men are legally allowed to have sex. Give me a moment. It's another one of those. It's the afterthought that gets me on these. Under Lebanese law, men are legally allowed to have sex with animals, but the animals must be female. I mean, at least I don't know what to say about that. At least they're trying to set a ground rule, I suppose. Oh, oh, geez. Yeah, some of these laws, Sarah, are crazy. Okay, I like that one. That's funny. I mean, they're being specific. Basically, no sodomy. That's what they're saying. There's no sodomy allowed in the Lebanese culture. But as we know, sodomy is not just for animals, just like human flesh is not just for cannibals. In the state of Washington, there is a law against having sex with a virgin under any circumstances, including the wedding night. Someone didn't think this one through. In the state of Washington, there is a law against having sex with a virgin under any circumstances, including the wedding night. I suppose they just go over the state line then? I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm confused by that one. It's illegal for a man to have a boner in public in parts of the US. That's really unfair. We have no control over the guy. He basically just like, like if we, the old Robin Williams joke, if we could take him off and let him go on his own way every so often, that would be handy. But guys get unexplained boners all the time. I mean, that's just like, fucking hell, man. That's brutal. In Santa Cruz, Bolivia, it is punishable under the law for a man to have sex with a lady and her daughter at the same time. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? A lady and a daughter. I mean, I suppose, like, okay, let's look at that. How many official ladies are in Bolivia? And by that, I'm meaning of status, of a standing, of a lineage, the lady of the house, the manor, the castle. So therefore, this law is probably not really that solid in Bolivia because don't think there'll be that many kind of like heiresses or so there. I think we can probably bypass that one. Sometimes we dig for pocket change and it's like, really, Cliff? Really? Basically, bits of metal rubbing against your cock does it for you. We are never working in that workshop again, okay? I'm sorry. No, too much. Reinforce the laws. Oh my God, Snail, that's great. Okay, where are we? Okay, mothers are required to, oh, Jesus. Thank God it's the daughters here. Mothers are required to watch their daughters lose their virginity on the wedding night in Cali, Colombia. Now, that's going to be really awkward. I mean, I don't know as a man how I'd feel about that. I mean, do they like really pay attention? Or are they just kind of reading a book in the corner, listening to the noises, making sure that there's the squelch and the moans and the groans and the ouchies and or are they basically like in beside them under the bed sheets, making sure that the cock goes in at the right angle and basically the thrusting is done right and there's enough pounding and the positions are appropriate? I mean, that's a bit weird. Yeah, that's awkward. That one's definitely one I think that needs a little bit more thought. Men aren't allowed to kiss their wives' breasts in Florida. Really? In Florida, of all places that had that law earlier. What was that other law in Florida? Geez, where's the other Florida law? Because wasn't oh yeah, so basically, here's the thing, guys. Florida's been really strict. You're not allowed to touch your wife's breasts or kiss your wife's breasts in Florida, and you're not allowed to have sex with a porcupine. I mean, what sort of, I was about to say the C word there. What sort of asshole government does Florida have? Oh, you're not allowed to kiss your wife's breasts or fuck that really attractive, sultry looking porcupine. Wait a minute. That means you're allowed to fuck your wife and kiss the porcupine's breasts. Problem solved. There we go. We have just found a loophole in those laws. You can fuck your wife and kiss the porcupine's breasts at the same time. Therefore, still getting the best of both worlds in Florida. There we go. God, I'm glad I solved that problem for you all. It is required by law to use a condom to engage sexually. Okay, so this site, I'm not sure if it has a typo here. I'm going to just read this to you and let you work this out. It is required by law to use a condom to engage sexually with the Satan in California. The Satan. Basically, almost implying that California has one of their very own Satans, but you must use a condom if you're going to fuck him. Or her. Could be a her. Male or female, could be androgynous. But basically, either way, use a condom if you're going to have sex with Satan in California. I wonder if they went, that's a typo and it was Santa. I don't know. No, I don't know. The Satan. Gynecologists in Bahrain are allowed to check female patients' lady parts, but through a mirror only. Yeah, that's fairly respectful. Voyeuristic, but respectful. Sex while hunting or fishing is prohibited in Oblong, Illinois. That probably goes back to not fucking an animal unless it's female. Or sex with a fish is not allowed unless it's dead. Probably a crossover law. I'm really confused, folks. In Oregon, it is illegal for a man to curse during sex. Holy shit. We'd be fucked in Scotland. Like, seriously, if that was a Scottish law, we would literally, there'd be no sex, there'd be no men or women. We'd literally all be in prison because, like, swearing is like a part of our lives. You hear me swear all the time now. I didn't used to. I tried to be polite and now I just let it go. But basically, we make swearing an art form. And to say that you wouldn't be allowed to curse or swear during sex, I mean, that's the best time to swear. You get away with some of the filthiest expressions known to man while having sex because it's all in the heat of the passion. So Oregon, you're a bad state, mate. That's a horrible thing to put on anyone. Yeah, I've heard about. Oh, yeah, that okay. Yeah, I was about to say I've heard about that one, but of course I have. It's you that told me that, wife. Yes, the Canadian one. Don't fuck while camping if you've got a period because you might get eaten by a bear. I love that. You know, the worst thing that would happen in Scotland is you might get a fucking angry hedgehog coming up to the tent trying to steal your fucking crackers. In Liverpool, England. Oh wow. In Liverpool, England, topless saleswomen are allowed in shops selling tropical fish. Well, I know where I'm moving. That's it. We're opening a chain of fucking tropical fish shops. Why the hell is that even a law? A man can kill his cheating wife in Uruguay. Wow. Some of these countries are really brutal. No full frontal in photo booths in Sweden. Oh, no sex with the lights on in Budapest, Hungary. Wow. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's it. Well, I mean, none of that sexy light action, guys. No, actually, Liam, the filthy hedgehog is literally just a little hedgehog. They're quite aggressive in Scotland. Most things are. Basically, if you shag near a hedgehog in Scotland, it's going to fucking be pissed off. Mainly because hedgehogs have a problem with sex. They're quite prudish. They usually have a wee Bible, try and hit you with it, tell you to get off, you filthy beast. Be gone, Satan. Get out of her, you animal. And then they go about and preach the rest of their hedgehog Bible around the country. Yeah. So not a euphemism, a true story told by me. Just like all the stories I tell are true. So, ladies and gents, my throat is absolutely puggled here. It's been like this for a couple of days. Don't know what's going on with me. Probably dying. Probably got the COVID or something. Or fuck it, we're talking about sex. Probably got the AIDS, but not the bad 90s AIDS, the good 80s AIDS, which means 2 aspirin and I'll be fine. you know. Basically, yeah, my throat's done. Too much of my cunning linguistic ways. You saw what I did there. Oh, but folks, I'm going to call this really random, bizarre, screwed up talk about sex, which probably made absolutely no sense to anybody. However, it was fun, I hope. It was silly. Lots of nice comments, lots of silly bits of information. That's what they are. These shows are just literally to be silly and stupid and give you guys a bit of entertainment for an hour, 2 hours or so. Have fun. Hopefully that's what it's done. Our next show will be a bit more serious though. It is about where am I? Kenneth McAlpine, a historic figure from Scotland. So Kenneth McAlpine is next. However, if that one doesn't interest you, it's the week after. 2 weeks from today, I will be doing another show, and that's the one that a lot of people are interested in because somebody evilly, and I say this evilly, because they know I will lose my voice by the end of that show. Kenneth McAlpine will be interesting and factual. But somebody wants me to talk about Braveheart, the movie. And anyone that sat with a beer round a campfire with me and happens to mention Braveheart already knows the 4-hour tirade that I can go on about that pathetic movie that did wonders for Scottish tourism. But next week, Kenneth McAlpine, live on a Scotsman Blathers about. Next, this coming Thursday, though, we have another episode of A Scotsman Talks To, but this is a weird one. I had a gap. Couldn't figure out a guest. So we decided to have some fun, and Curtis Dominic's coming back on, but it's going to be a really random show. It's kind of like, it's almost like I'm taking a hiatus from A Scotsman Talks To, because we're basically just going to go onto one of their streaming platforms on Twitch, where one of his colleagues and friends is doing a game run through gameplay. And the idea is they're basically going to try and scare the shit out of a Scotsman. We're going to watch this game, we're going to chat, we're going to have fun, but the idea is they're going to try and basically keep scaring me throughout this whole episode. What they don't realize is I don't scare that easy unless there's a snake involved, or basically somebody is asking me to pay a bill for a meal or something. Anything expensive like that I don't think is worthwhile. Money out of my wallet or snakes, that's pretty much the fear factor element for me. So please join me either on Thursday, where Curtis Dominic, the old turkey, boots himself back on the show, or next Monday, same time, same place, for Kenneth McAlpine. But thank you very much for joining. It has been a pleasure. It's been an incredibly random show, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I know this show was going to be a bit weird and wonderful for everyone. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. I don't think I could talk much longer. I'm going to sign off. You guys have a great night. Thank you for joining.